Football is big business, and it's not just footballers on the field earning thousands of pounds. Football memorabilia is making thousands of pounds off the field, selling in auction rooms up and down the country. So today I've come to check out one of the greatest football collections in the world. And it's owned by a club who are formerly known as Newton Heath LYR Football Club, formed from the carriage and wagon departments of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. Now, 130 years on, the club have gone from strength to strength. They're one of the wealthiest and widest supported football teams in the world. And their home is right here at Old Trafford. And of course, I'm talking about Manchester United. Whether or not you're a fan, it's undeniable that football and the Manchester United team itself is part of our national cultural heritage. The club's three-storey museum has amassed over 25,000 objects relating to Old Trafford history, a collector's paradise. Artefacts here date back to 1881 and include programmes, medals, shirts, boots and of course lots of trophies, over 150 in this room alone. And I'm here to find out why a team of 11 men can become so important to millions of people in this country. Coming to watch a game at Old Trafford became a way of life for thousands of people, and you can still hear a lot of them reminiscing about those early days where factory workers would save up their hard-earned coppers to come and watch a game of football over the weekend, sporting their Sunday best. In 1939, this ground had its record attendance, just a few people short of 77,000 spectators. And shortly after that, it was bombed heavily during the Second World War. So the only remaining part of the original building is this, the original Players' Tunnel. Slowly, the stadium was rebuilt. However, there was greater tragedy to come. Under the guidance of manager Matt Busby, the team thrillingly won the league championships of 1956 and 1957. Everyone was convinced back then this squad were capable of doing marvellous things, and they were known as the Busby Babes because the average age of the players was just 22 years old. But then in February 1958, disaster struck. They were on their way home from playing a European Cup quarter-final in Belgrade.
Here is the news. So far, we know there are 23 survivors after Manchester United's air crash at Munich this afternoon. Rescuers fought to recover people from the blazing fuselage.
23 people died. 8 of them were Manchester United players. The sense of grief was felt worldwide, but here in Manchester, it was absolutely devastating.
Well, I think all heads are bowed in Manchester tonight, but Manchester United will live on for many years to come.
Against all odds, the team picked itself up despite this dreadful tragedy. And the rebuilding of the club was to lead to their famous triumph at the 1968 European Cup final. I've got the privilege to meet one of the players who helped the team win that legendary game. Goalkeeping hero Alex Stepney played over 500 games for the club between 1966 and 1978. Alex, what was it like playing in that European Cup final back in '68?
Well, I think it was absolutely a momentous moment, not only for me, but for the team, because
and for all of Manchester.
Well, exactly, because it was 10 years after Munich, and you know, to do that and achieve that under Sir Matt Busby was incredible.
Yeah, you were the hero of that game. I mean, but goalies don't really get the recognition, do they? It's always the strikers that get it.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that, but it was one of those things. You were doing your job.
Sure.
4 minutes from the end, Eusebio came through, and I made the save, and that was it.
What a wonderful footballer. Did he mention anything after the game to you?
We didn't see him after the game, but I mean, he did come up and applaud me when I made the save. But I didn't realise that was happening because I was more interested in throwing the ball out.
Your medal. Where is it at the moment?
It's one of those things in life that happens, and
you sold it.
Sold it, and that was quite a few years ago.
It's worth around £20,000 in today's money. Did you ever think it would be worth that much money when you got it in '68?
No, you don't. No. It's one of those things. It's an ambition that you wanted to win. You wanted to win the FA Cup. You wanted to win the league and those things. But no, you don't think about that. And for a simple reason, there was no talk about money in those days.
No. Why is it, do you think, that people are willing to pay so much money for it?
Football supporters want to be part of the club and be part of have part of that club around them. In their homes.
Owning a piece of that history.
Owning it. Yeah,
a connection
exactly.
to the past. And what other memories do you have of playing here?
Well, I was fortunate when I came here in '66 to join a team with 3 European Footballers of the Year. I mean, George Best, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law.
Yes, great names.
Unbelievable.
What makes Old Trafford so special for you? That's a big question.
It is a big question. I mean,
obviously your memories, but
my memories here. But I mean, look how it's changed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is now a 76,000 seater stadium.
All seated.
All seated. Yeah. I mean, we had 63,000. I think 19,000 seats. Where we are now is the Old Trafford end. That pitch is in exactly the same place as when I played for it.
Yeah. Gosh, the legends that have been here, and you're one of them.
Well,
thank you so much for
pleasure.
talking to me today. Look at those size of those hands.
I like it.
And of course, my visit wouldn't be complete without seeing the players' famous changing room.
And look at this, we're surrounded by household names, fabulous footballers. Owen, Wayne Rooney, Ryan Giggs, Rio Ferdinand, superstars in their own right. But I brought you here to show you a few things, and they are very, very special. The first being this fabulous football programme. We see a lot of these coming in on the show, and you know they fetch a great deal of money, but we won't see anything as fabulous as this, I'm sure. It's the first game Manchester United played after the Munich air disaster, and they played Sheffield Wednesday. But if you look inside, you can see the team sheet is left blank. It was only sorted out 2 hours before the game, and from what I can gather from the people I've talked to, the streets were so jam-packed full of supporters, many of them with tickets couldn't get in, because thousands of people who didn't have tickets were left outside not knowing what to do. It was a very emotional time. Manchester United won 3-0.
And a lot of value is added to memorabilia depending on the players associated to it.
There is even a huge demand for players' shirts, modern day shirts, and I'm looking at this one here, Ryan Giggs' shirt with his squad number 11 on the back. This was worn in the 2006 to 2007 Premier League season. Obviously, if it's signed, it's going to fetch a great deal more money, but provenance is the key. Also, we have a pair of Wayne Rooney's football boots. These were worn in the 2007 to 2008 Premier League season. Now, obviously, we know they're his because they belong to the club. We have sold a pair of David Beckham football boots on the show before, about 4 or 5 years ago in Christie's in South London. If you have the provenance, if it's watertight, Wayne Rooney's football boots would command a price of around £2,000 to £3,000 in auction. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. This really is the Hall of Fame, isn't it?